Welcome back, everyone. This is Maureen Suzuki with Goal Set Coach. I have here today with me Sean Bierman. We're in our bonus sessions of our 5-day Limitless Leader Accelerator workshop. And today we brought on Sean Bierman because all of you are asking about how do I make an impact? How do I continue to move forward? Why do I keep getting stopped? So let me just introduce her so that she can help you with really understanding when you get stopped or when you're disempowered, how do you break through and make those radical results? So Sean is a master level executive coach for businesses, right? She's a multi-entrepreneur that gives people the outside of the box creativity required to cause exponential results, right? More importantly, Sean is known as the coach's coach, right? She was just sitting here coaching me just behind the scenes. I love it, right? So she assists business owners and consultants to architect accomplishment plans, big words, that cause on-the-court results. Her key positions in the community include being the CEO of Radical Ideas Coaching, the VP of Sales for Yellow Cross, and Senior Executive with Rail, RAYL, which is a tech startup. And her mission is to have each and every person causing radical results and being in love with life. Really bold words, really bold goals you have and what you're standing for. Sean, we're so excited to have you here.
Go big or go home, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So tell me, Sean,
something worth it. Right?
Causing radical results. I mean, you were sitting here telling me like all these things, like, yes, all of this. What would you tell our audience? Like really, when they're feeling that imposter syndrome, when they're getting stopped or they're hitting that place where they don't know even to go, how do you start creating those, what you were calling?
I took a look at all of the stuff that you covered this week with everybody, right? And you covered all the stuff that I would cover with somebody if I wanted them to get a foundation for causing results, right? And there's a difference between incremental results and exponential results. So an incremental result is a result that you would normally get paid for in a company. So for example, if you worked sales for a major scale company and you caused a 10% increase in sales, 10 to 15% in the year, that's a bonusable percentage increase. Like normally salespeople would get bonused on that. Okay. And I don't know about you, but 10% really doesn't turn me on all that much. A 10% increase in my effectiveness in any area of my life isn't really a big bump, if you know what I mean, right?
Right.
Like 10% better at sex. Yeah, no, I'm not looking for that. I want, exponential results, people, right?
Yes.
So exponential results are results that don't take you up this route. They take you from here to here. Okay. So they're jump level results. And what it takes to cause a jump level result is very different than the actions that it takes to cause an incremental result. So the first thing to determine is, do you want to be slow and steady, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Or do you want to be like, jump up and then deal with your success and then jump up and then deal with your success, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Is the way I like it because I'm really easily bored. Right.
Yeah,
so I just want everything right now. I'm like a 5-year-old that wants to like party all the time and never wants to sleep.
Girl, right? You and me both.
My poor mother. I don't think she slept until I turned 10 or something. Like it was my poor mother, really. So there you are. Now I'm kind of clear that you're an exponential results wanter because incremental results wanters aren't developing themselves to cause better results.
They're staying very comfortable.
They're staying in their little wheelhouse, right? Not a problem. But if you were an incremental results producer, you probably wouldn't be here listening to me right now. So consider that even if you think you're incremental, you're lying to yourself. Okay? You're ready for exponential, which is why you're here. Now, there's only a few things that get in the way of exponential results. So one of them is your mindset, which we've been talking about earlier this week, right? What you do, this neighborhood. Yeah. Don't walk around in this neighborhood. This is the worst neighborhood to walk around in, your head.
That's right.
Okay. If I'm going to walk around in somebody's head, it's going to be somebody else's, not mine. Dangerous neighborhood here. Okay.
Monologue is a killer.
Killer. I have one of my clients calls it his inner roommate. So we start with every conversation with, what is your inner roommate saying today? Let's let your inner roommate talk for a minute or two so that he doesn't interrupt us.
Yes.
When we're trying to get stuff done.
That's hilarious.
So, but it's like that. We all have that inner voice. So that's the one thing that will take us out. Okay. And another thing that will take us out is breakdowns. So what's a breakdown? Now you all have a thing in your head of what you think a breakdown is. Okay. But let me tell you what a breakdown is. A breakdown is an unforeseen circumstance, something that you didn't foresee that is now happening to impact or impede your schedule or your journey. Okay. Now, if you don't plan for breakdowns, that's like living in Vancouver and not owning an umbrella. For those of you who don't know, it rains a lot in Vancouver.
I guess it does.
Months of the year, right? Okay. Or that's like going to the beach and not wearing sunscreen.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get burnt if you go out in the sun and don't put sunscreen on.
Sorry.
Right? Not rocket science. There's a breakdown coming. You can't live and be a human being without breakdowns coming. So they're coming. Except, you want to know something really funny? Nobody plans for them. Nobody literally puts time in their schedule to deal with breakdowns, even though they know they're coming. This is so crazy. This is like, I can't even think of how much crazier there's something that you do out there. It's kind of like coming home from the groceries, leaving your groceries on the counter overnight, and then being upset because the milk is sour.
Yeah.
It's that stupid. Okay?
This is perfect. This happened to me this morning. Okay. My husband got in the shower. I need to also get in the shower. But after the shower, he went and turned on the washer. Ooh. So when I got in the shower, it was pulling hot water and it was cold. Yeah. Normally I would lose my shit. Like, what the hell? Today's hair wash, day, and you're like ruining everything. But I just calmly, I got out. I went and turned that thing off. I went downstairs. I said, I'm just going to have to, in my robe, I'm just going to have a coffee, my breakfast, and then I'll come back up when all the hot water's back.
That's right.
And that's it.
It's breakdown, right? It was a breakdown. By the way, breakdowns are only breakdowns because you're comparing them against what you're trying to accomplish, like against the goals or commitment that you have. Yes. It's not a breakdown if you don't have a commitment.
That's right.
Right? Like if you had nothing to do today, not being able to get in the shower until an hour later is really not that big of a deal, is it? I mean, if you don't have to, it's Sunday morning, you don't have anywhere to go.
On my schedule a little bit.
Right?
I'm going to have breakfast first and then go back.
So by definition, in addition to being an unforeseen circumstance, a breakdown is something that interrupts, okay, your goals or your intentions and your commitments of being fulfilled on.
Yes.
Okay, good. So here's my first piece of coaching. Schedule breakdown time. Absolutely. I recommend at the very least 2 30-minute occasions, one before noon and one before 5 p.m. Okay. You schedule them I call them breakdown time, right in my schedule. Okay.
Twice in a day. I was thinking once a day. Okay.
No, twice in a day. Twice in a day. Okay. And depending on what kind of business you're in, you might need more time than that. So for example, when I ran a facility that did live events, I kept 3 hours of breakdown time in my schedule during event setup time because I knew they were going to come to me with breakdowns during that time. Yeah. So I left that 3 hours in my schedule. Every time there was an event, the 3 hours before any event starts is breakdown time for me. I don't put anything else in there because I know breakdowns are going to happen.
Yeah.
So depending on what
dealing with breakdown session.
So depending on what kind of company you have, you might need more than 2 30-minute occasions is what I'm saying. Okay. But start with 2 30-minute occasions. Then you're going to run into this next issue. The breakdowns don't happen in the time I've scheduled it, Sean. I scheduled breakdowns from 11 to 11:30 and the breakdown started at 8 a.m. What? WTF? What do I do? Right? Okay.
That happened to me this morning with the shower. I'm like, really? I just got up.
Let me tell you how to deal with this. Eventually, you will train everybody in your life like this.
Yeah.
But you train the people that when they call you with a breakdown, you simply ask them this question. Is the house on fire or did somebody die? And they're going to say yes or they're going to say no. Usually it's no. Okay. So they're going to say no. And they're going to say, great, I can talk to you at fill in the blank with your first breakdown time. I can talk to you at 10:30. Call me back. Great. Click. You go back to what you were doing and stay on schedule. Okay. But let's say somebody did die. Let's say they phone you at 8 o'clock and they're like, oh my God, Sean, grandma passed away. What do I do? Blah, blah, blah. And they're like, hold on. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Stay right there. You put them on hold. You go to your schedule. You move what you were doing right now into your first breakdown time. Now your schedule has honor. Mm-hmm. And you go back to your dealing with your breakdown. Honey, what do you need to say? I'm so sorry you lost your grandma. Okay. So you literally keep those open spots. Now, are you ever going to run out of stuff to do if you end up having breakdown time and there's no breakdowns? I don't know about you, but I have about 28,000 emails that I could probably sit and go through.
Yeah, I know.
There's stuff to do. Yeah, I never run out of stuff to do. So what I do is I keep an ongoing task list of things that aren't critically important, like they don't have to be done today, but I've been meaning to do them. It stays in the description of my breakdown time. And whenever I have more things to add, I go and put it there. So that if I'm in breakdown time and there's no breakdowns, I have a task list right there of things I can do during that 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So that's breakdown time. First piece of advice, schedule breakdown time because you're going to have them and not planning for them seems kind of silly.
Yeah. So for those of you who are watching day 3, let's add this in. Adding those breakdown times for yourself, as we talked about those times that Alexis had talked about, adding those buffer space, to call them breakdown times, just so that you know
both. I wouldn't do that, Maureen. I would do both. I would literally put in your buffer time, but put in separate time for breakdown time. You're going to need it.
Okay.
You're going to put in both.
Okay.
What else are we putting in? Are we putting in Sponto time? Because I love Sponto time. That's my favorite.
The spontaneous time?
Do you have Sponto time in your calendar?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I
put time in my calendar regularly.
Yeah, because I don't know about other people. Being totally by schedule doesn't work for me. Just I'm a spontaneous person. My husband, he likes everything scheduled out. He's going to go by that, but I need that spontaneous time scheduled out. I don't know what I'm going to do, but it's going to be something fun.
I'm one of those weird unicorns. I like it both ways.
Yeah.
I take it every way I can get it. But Sponto time is so important. It's time, you guys, where you're not expecting yourself to generate anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what Sponto time is. It's time you're giving yourself to spontaneously do whatever the F you want and not have to generate anything.
Yes.
So if I want to take a nap in Sponto time, I take a nap. If I want to go on a date, I go on a date. If I want to go to a movie, I go to a movie. If I want to do nothing except watch Netflix and eat popcorn, I watch Netflix and eat popcorn. Mm-hmm. I'm not eating popcorn right now because I'm, keto. But there you go. But when I am eating popcorn, I eat popcorn.
Yeah.
God's gift for snacks, right? It's popcorn.
Yes.
But that's breakdown time. Okay. So it's just really critically vital. Okay. Now, occasionally you have a breakdown and that breakdown causes an upset. So what am I calling an upset? The 5 big ones are shame, blame, guilt, anger, and upset. Mm-hmm. Upset simply means being emotionally juicy. Your 6-year-old comes home and everybody in the class called her ugly today. That would be upsetting. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Your teenager comes home and their boyfriend broke up with them. That would be upsetting. Your other teenager comes home and he fell off his bike and banged up his bike and his bike's scuffed. He's bleeding from 16 different places, but that's not a problem for him. His bike being messed up is a problem. Mm-hmm. Right? So there's all these different kinds of upsets that we deal with. And when people are around us are upset, we also get impacted and become upset. So I'm going to give you guys probably the greatest tool I have ever developed in my history of being a servant leader. The tool is for using when you're upset. Because, ladies and gentlemen, any action taken in a state of upset is 100% of the time detrimental.
Yeah.
Not 99.9% of the time, 100% of the time. So how do you know you're upset? You're going to ask yourself, you're going to put yourself on a scale. Okay. Oops, I got to go this way. Okay, good. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is like, I'm so upset. I can't sleep. I can't eat. I can't think. I'm just so upset. Okay. And 1 is like, what is this word upset of which you speak? I don't even know what this word is. Okay. You place yourself on the scale. So that's the first thing that you do. And if you are more than a 1, if you're not a 0 or a 1, do not take action until you are. Do not. Unless you have to save somebody in CPR, do not take any action until you're at least a 0 or a 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, we have screwed with the word responsibility in our society. Responsibility doesn't mean what they originally intended it to mean right now. Right now, we use it in really weird ways. It's like, well, you're not responsible for this and you're not responsible for that, as if you can make someone else responsible for anything. Responsibility simply means the ability to respond. Responsibility, the ability to respond. It doesn't mean that you're taking the weight of the world on your shoulders for something. And in fact, nobody can make you responsible for anything, because responsibility is an individual declaration.
Yes.
How do we know? How many parents have you seen out in the world that are not responsible? Yeah, a few, right?
Yeah, a few. Mm-hmm. There are a few.
One the other day in the grocery store.
Yeah.
She's got her kid out at 11:30 at night in the grocery store, and she's freaking out on the kid because they're having a temper tantrum. It's 11:30 at night. He's 4. You know, he's going to be a little tired by now, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I'm tired. It's 11:30. So, so the world of this is that there's going to be upsets, and in order to deal with them, here's the kicker, okay? Responsibly, okay? The ability to respond to upsets, okay? Shame, blame, guilt, anger, and upset can't live in the same space at the same time as 100% responsibility.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
So anytime you're feeling shame, blame, guilt, anger, upset, any of those things, all that it is a signal to you that you're not being 100% responsible for something to yourself, not to anybody else. Okay? Just to yourself. Now, I have a process for walking people through. This process is not going to be effective with any of you all today unless you're in an upset. Okay?
Yeah.
If you're in an upset, it's going to be useful. And I'm going to arrange to have it sent out to all of you. Okay? Yes. The actual process so that you can use it. Here's what there is to remember about the process. It's most effective when done out loud with another human being. It's secondly most effective when done out loud, like to yourself in a mirror or on Zoom or something like this, okay? It's third most effective when you do it out loud. So if you can't do any of those things, do it anyway, but just know you have a much better chance of being effective, okay, if you involve another person and you do it out loud. Clear?
Mm-hmm.
All right, good. So the first thing you do is you take a look. Where are you on the scale? So Maureen, I'm going to mock this with you, but I want you to place yourself in a certain position to do it. So if you looked at your life over the last 5 years, what's been the most upsetting thing that's happened to you in the last 5 years?
Last 5 years, most upsetting. Yeah, I'm going to put it out there. So yeah, my best friend stopped talking to me.
How long ago was that?
Since May.
Okay, good. Great. So we're gonna work through this because that's upsetting, isn't it? Like when your best friend stops talking to you.
Abandonment, rejection. Don't I matter? Am I not good enough? What did I say? What did I do? I got nothing. I have
How can I fix it? You know, just all that stuff that comes in, right?
Yeah.
Now, when that happened, it probably took a couple of weeks for you to realize that they weren't talking to you, right? Altogether. Like at the first couple of days, you might not have really realized it was like, no, they're really not talking to me.
Yeah, it was, yeah, probably in a couple of weeks. Yes. I was like,
Yeah.
this is serious. She cut me off social media too. Like, what did I do?
In that moment, when that happened, if you were to place yourself on the scale of upset, where would you place yourself?
It threw me out. I was at a 9 or a 10. I had to close out my entire day. I called my manager and said I need to take a mental health day because I was really dealing with it. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really great. So I want you, for the purposes of this exercise, to just put yourself back there, because, most people on here can actually relate. Almost everybody's on here has had a friend go, I'm not your friend anymore. Either they said it when you were 4 or they said it when you were 40. But at some point in your history of your life, somebody says they don't want to be your friend. And it's upsetting. Okay. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, you are a 9 or a 10. So I'm going to walk you through the questions. Okay. And I want everybody to listen carefully, because doing it as it's designed is what has it be effective. Some of you are corner cutters, and you don't do anything fully and completely by design. And then you come to people like her and I and say, I can't figure out why I'm stuck. It's called you have no integrity. Do it by design or don't freaking do it. Okay. All right, good. So the design of it is, I'm going to ask you a question and I'm literally going to walk you through how to do it. So there's nothing for you to know or think of. I'm going to walk you through everything. Okay.
Okay. Right. I'll just let you know that there's people working in the yard. So if it's a little, I'm going to stay on mute.
Yeah, no worries. You just unmute yourself every time you talk. No worries. Okay. I got it. The garbage truck was pulling up right when you brought me online for this event. And I was like, I hope that thing isn't there when we start doing
work from home struggles.
That's right. All right. So, Maureen, if you put yourself back in that time, okay, and out of everything that happened with your friend, the really great thing about using the reset process is that it's hindsight. We're going back in time, and we're giving you all the power in the world to be 100% responsible by going on. Okay. So, what's one thing that you did regarding this situation that you could have not done? Something you did that you could have not done.
After she stopped talking to me or before?
Any of it, during any of it.
What did I do that I should have not done?
I would deal with when she stopped talking to you, like not after she stopped talking to you, before that, like leading up to that. What's something you did that you could have not done?
Or what I didn't do, even, right? What I didn't do, because we were in a lockdown, what I didn't do.
Hold on. So don't say didn't do. What you did was what? So because you were in a lockdown.
What I did? Sorry.
So you didn't do something because you were in a lockdown. So you didn't go and track her down and get it handled, right?
That's right.
So what you did that you could have not done, right, was you stayed distant and disconnected from her. Do you see that?
I did.
And you could have not done that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So repeat after. You can. Now listen, Maureen, can you be 100% responsible for the fact that you disconnected during COVID and didn't put things in place to stay connected?
Totally.
You totally can, right? Okay, good. Repeat after me. I am 100% responsible.
I am 100% responsible
for the fact that I disconnected during COVID.
I disconnected during COVID.
And I didn't have to do that.
And I didn't have to do that.
Really great. Now, what's one thing you said during this entire process that you could have not said? Either to yourself, by the way, or to someone else. It doesn't have to be someone else.
Yeah.
You could have just said something to yourself.
The first thing I was like, what did I do?
Oh, good. So you said to yourself, what did I do? And you could have not said that, right?
Yeah.
Can you be 100% responsible for the fact that you said that?
For sure. I can be 100% responsible.
I am
100%
responsible.
100% responsible.
For the fact that I said to myself.
What was it? Lost
What
it.
did I do?
Oh, what did I do? Yeah, what did I do?
And I could have not said that.
Yeah, I could have not said that.
Really great. Good. Now, Maureen, what's one thing regarding this situation that you didn't do that you could have done now looking back in hindsight?
Was drive right up to her house and say, WTF?
Yes, right? You totally could have done that, right? And you didn't do that.
We're 40, in our 40s. We're not in high school. We just don't stop talking.
Very good. Now, can you be 100% responsible for the fact that you did not do that and you could have?
Yes, I am 100% responsible for not going up and to her home and asking her what's up.
Yeah, very good. Excellent. Now, last question in this round. What's something that you didn't say back then that you could have said now in hindsight?
What is the thing I didn't say?
What's something you didn't say that you could have? Either to yourself or someone else.
I'm lost here. I don't know what it is.
Well, remember, you were telling yourself a lot of disempowering things, right, at the time. So what's something you didn't say to yourself that you could have said to yourself? And I always look at this from the thing, if I was coaching my best friend, what would be something I would tell them to say? So what's something you didn't say at the time?
One of the things I know, being a coach myself, that she's not responding to me. But one thing.
Right. So you didn't say to yourself or out loud, she's going through stuff and it's not all about me and I'm just going to love her. You didn't say that and you could have, right?
Yeah, I eventually got there, but yes, at the moment, no. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Now, can you be responsible for the fact that you didn't say that and you could have?
Yeah, I can be responsible for the fact that
I
am 100% responsible for not saying that she's not responding to me and that she's dealing with something. And I love her.
Yeah, very good. And you totally could have said that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I could have said that.
And I could have said that.
Very good. So now, Maureen, what we're going to do is we're going to go back and look at the scale, where 10 is like, I'm really upset, so upset I can't sleep. And 1 is like, what upset? So now where do you place yourself on that scale?
I would probably be more at a 2 or 3.
Yeah, very good. Mm-hmm. So now, ladies and gentlemen, all you're going to do is go through the exact same process again until you're at a 1 or a 0, and then you can brainstorm some actions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There is no point in taking any action, brainstorming any action, or doing anything on top of an upset.
Yeah.
100% detrimental. Okay. I've never had to go through this process more than 4 times with anybody. And I've been talking to them about their children being murdered. I've talked to them about them being fired. I've talked to them about being kicked out of their homes. Okay. And it's never taken me more than 4 rounds to get somebody to a 0 or 1.
Mm-hmm.
That's called having radical results, because your upset will take you out. And if you can get back in action quickly after an upset, okay, then you're 80% farther down the road than most human beings. All right, that's what I got, Cheeky Poos.
No, really great. So what we got today here was like, basically we can be responsible. Being
100%.
responsible.
99.9% is not good enough, ladies and gentlemen. It has to be 100% to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not asking you to say I'm 100% responsible to anybody other than yourself.
Yeah. I see this working for a lot of them, dealing with confidence with speaking up, right? Mm. Confidence with speaking up. It could be the imposter syndrome, right? I'm not good enough, or people will find out, right? Dealing with that shame or guilt, or I don't know what all you were saying. Shame, guilt.
Shame, blame, guilt, anger, and upset.
Shame, blame, guilt, anger, and upset. Yeah.
Those are the big ones. Those are the ones that take us out most often.
Yes. So, I mean, like all of those things, they show up they can be showing up all the time in every interaction. And it's
Mm-hmm.
really just being, like you said in the beginning, is getting out of our heads, right? And being very conscious and aware of what's happening there. So for those of you who are listening, being really aware, like, what is that saying? What is your thoughts and words saying to you? And does it really exist? And then we will send out this tool that you've generously supplied to us, to the audience here, so that they can start asking these questions to themselves to get them past that.
Yeah, I just request you use it with yourself whenever you're upset, and you use it with the people around you when they're upset, so that we don't have to stop the action in every one of your goals, right? That where it takes you out for a moment rather than a day or a week or a month or, in some cases, a year.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. And that's really what it's about, Sean, is that when we're giving these tools, it's not that we're giving these tools because we want you to move progressing forward. We don't want you to keep coming back to us every time you have an upset. And then how do you do it? Start to learn to apply these tools so you can go to that next level, right?
Exactly.
That's why it's really important when you work with a coach, you want to find a coach that is going to be teaching you how to move forward and having you progress. If you're in the same situation, coming back with the same questions, something's not working there. And
listen, I gotta say something about that, because you guys, I'm the coach's coach, right? So I coach coaches. 80%, 75% of my clients are coaches. Okay. They're not all created equal, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. I mean, some coaches don't even have certification. All right. That's not as important as whether or not this coach gets you. Okay. Yeah. Coaching is very individualized. My style of coaching doesn't work for everybody because I kick people's ass. Okay? So I don't I love all over them. I'm loving, but I'm not nurturing. I'm not going to hold somebody's hand every day and say, you're really great today. Go and do another action. You're really awesome. I'm like, do these 10 things and call me back. Let's go. I'm a different style of coaching, right? So coaching is a personality thing. So my recommendation is that you keep doing free discovery calls with coaches until you find someone that clicks. And if you need help with that, come to me, because I'll give you, I have resources up the yin yang for coaching, right? Everything that you could think of. Somebody came to me yesterday and they said they're having trouble with their child is like, I think 10 or 12 or something like that. And they're really butting heads, all the time. I have some incredible parent coaches. I can coach them through it. I'm capable. I'm certified, but it's not my sweet spot. I'd rather give you this other woman that I know who's absolutely incredible about assisting parents and teens and navigating those waters. So I would rather give you someone who's going to get the job done in half the time, in my opinion. For sure.
I mean, why? Just for the fact of that you want a client is not the reason why you take them on, right? Yeah. And we have a lot of people who are looking for jobs or needing a career coach. We also have partnered with another coach that offers that, because that's not what we specialize in. We're going to that next level, the scaling, managing teams, managing yourself, all those things. If you're looking for more of a career coach, whatever, we have that, right?
Yeah.
If you're looking for business, a particular business coaching for whatever model that you want for yourself, we can recommend you to a coach there. So I love what you said there. Those questions that you're saying that they could ask their coach or go into discovery calls, do you have those available? Could we have?
I do somewhere. So get to me by email, and I'll go looking for it. I'll go looking for it and see what I can find you.
Yeah, that would be really great. I think a resource for people to have, like what ask.
I run this event. I used to run it pre-COVID live. Mm-hmm. It was a speed coaching event for entrepreneurs, and I'm going to be running it this coming year, right, digitally. And so we give that list of questions to everybody, and we say, go to every coach and ask them your questions in the same order to every coach. Because if you ask the same questions in the same order, you're going to get completely different coaching styles on how to deal with those issues. And it's the best way to measure and compare for yourself.
Yeah, no, really great. I'd love to know what those questions are, because that's really great. And for people need to know more about that, be educated, like what kind of coach do you want? What works for you? Who do you connect with? Right? So whatever it is that you're looking for. So really great, Sean. Thank you so much for coming on. Today, Sean shared with us, and if you're just joining, she shared with us how to deal with breakdown and really putting that into your schedule. So we talked about on day 3 about balancing your goals. On top of that, Alexis talked about putting in that buffer time. You also want to put in that time, 30 minutes twice a day, 30 minutes maybe in the morning and the afternoon, at least, at minimum, right, to dealing with breakdowns. And if you don't have a breakdown, then have a list of things that you could be working on during that breakdown. Perfect advice right there. And then the next thing we talked about, Sean shared with us, is dealing with upsets. So that's dealing with, when you're feeling that shame, the blame, the guilt, the anger, the upset. When we talk about
breakdowns that are juicy, breakdowns that are emotionally juicy, we call upsets.
Yeah. We've had clients that have talked about that they get emotionally triggered and like anxiety rises. How is that happens? It throws you out. You can't even sit in a meeting anymore. You can't even talk to anybody anymore, or you just need to deal. Then Sean is generously offering the tools that you can use, the questions you can powerfully ask yourself to move through those emotions, to get yourself out. And I love the tip that you said, that when you're feeling those emotions, that's not the time to be making any type of decision. You want to make sure that you've got yourself back to ground zero before you move anywhere forward, right? Get yourself back grounded.
Can I just tell you one other little piece of gold? Here's one.
Absolutely. We want all the gold nuggets.
Listen, when people react to your communications, okay, and they're in a reaction, and you guys know what a reaction looks like. That's somebody going, when you say something. If you respond in any other way other than asking a question or recreating them, then you're a reaction to their reaction. Now, if what you did was ask them a request and they're reacting to your request, the only thing there is to do is to reiterate the request. I'd like you to take the garbage out. It's not my turn to take the garbage out. I'd like you to take the garbage out.
You must know my daughters. I'm like, that's not the question that I asked. I asked for you to get the dishes done.
I always say, thank you for sharing. I'd like you to take the garbage out, please. Are you accepting, declining, or counter-offering my request?
Yes, perfect.
This is how I train them, okay? This is how I train the kids. All the kids in my life know this now. Are you accepting, declining, or counter-offering my request? I'm declining. Great. You know that the next time you ask me for something, my decision on whether I give that to you is going to be based on how many times you say yes to me, right?
Yes.
But Annie Sean, I want a PS2 for Christmas. I got it. Thank you for sharing. Go help set the table, please. All right.
Perfect.
Come on, we're causing miracles. Why not?
There's parenting 101 right there. That's it. And that's all there is.
That's all there is.
You got it, folks? Okay.
All right, reach out. You'll find me on Facebook, right? I'm not that seriously. Someone's like, well, how do I get a hold of you? I'm like, just Google me, you idiot. You'll find me in 50 million different places.
Yes.
I didn't say Google me. You know what I said? I'm like, go ask the Oracle. That's what I call Google the Oracle. Like, go ask the Oracle. The Oracle knows everything.
Yes, if you look up Sean Bierman, you'll find all of her sites, everything. You'll easily get in touch with her.
Exactly.
I would say, book a 30-minute consult. I think you offer 30-minute chats.
Sure. Right? Yeah, absolutely.
They are gold. Every time we've had a conversation, I've learned so much from you. Thank you so much. And thank you for generously offering your time to come on and give these golden nuggets to our audience. And for those of you who are registered into the 5-day workshop, you will get a copy of the questions to ask when you're in an upset. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Thanks again, Sean, for coming on.
Have a great day.
Yes. And we will see you guys again tomorrow with Rachel on tapping into your subconscious, right? How do you leverage that subconscious for yourself as a leader? How do you really leverage it for yourself? So along the same lines of, dealing with what the breakdowns and upsets, but really going into how to leverage that into showing up as a leader. All right, so you guys want to catch that with Alexis and Rachel tomorrow at the same time, 1:30 Eastern. Thank you, everyone.